Hey guys, I want to make a quick video about the build that I'm working on because there's still quite a lot of people who don't know about this interaction, and this isn't my invention. Badger was doing this a couple weeks ago, and I thought it looked cool, but I thought maybe it's a bug, but it has been a couple weeks and it hasn't been changed, so I assume it is intended mechanic. So what it is basically casting any skill to proc discharge and up to 4 times per second. And the way you do that, I'm just gonna go straight to the point. The way you do that, you need a weapon with trigger socketed spells when you use a skill. It can either be 4 second or 8 second. Like normally it would be bad. You wouldn't want this. However, you can override that cooldown on the weapon by using the discharge threshold jewel, which allows you to trigger discharge up to 4 times per second. It does have drawbacks, reducing the damage, the AoE, but yeah, basically that's it. You just use that threshold jewel, get the trigger mod on the weapon, and then you just place discharge inside the weapon with other support gems, and then use some other skill. The tricky part is generating charges fast enough. I am going purely for power charge generation because I cannot really get frenzy charges because of the body armor that I'm using, and I'm not gonna be messing with the endurance charges at all, I think. Currently the build is in early stages. I would say it's level 79, started doing a bit higher tier yellow tier maps, but it's still on a 5 link. It still does not have any jewels. It's still missing some items, some item upgrades. So there are still quite a lot of things to work on this build, and I don't have currency, but now at least the build is working decently fine and I can start farming yellow tier maps, maybe even go into red tier maps, and then try to get currency for item upgrades. I'm gonna include some path for building import code in the description as always. Let's talk about power charge generation. There are multiple ways of improving it, but you're never gonna have 100% like guaranteed maximum power charge generation on every explosion. You're just not gonna have that. The DPS is never gonna be consistent and reliable. And it is lighting, so it rolls from pretty low damage to very high damage, and it's a crit. Although I should have 100% crit chance once the enemy HP drops to low life, which is below 50%. Then I get more multiplier, more critical strike chance multiplier, and more damage. Basically, I am just relying on Voll's Protector, and I am casting Voll lighting. You're gonna want to try to match 4 casts per second because that's how many discharge you can proc. You don't want more because then you're gonna start skipping the discharge proc. So you don't want to go over 4 casts per second, maybe even a bit below depending on the server tick rate. I'm not too sure about that. So Voll lighting is not the fastest skill. However, Voll lighting hits multiple times per cast, and you don't want to use spell echo, you don't want to use unleash or any other shenanigans because that is also gonna count as only 1 cast, and you want like a true cast. Because each time you use a skill it's gonna proc discharge, including like resetting your auras or banners or changing the stance or whatever, or dropping the Orb of Storm, or just using Frost Blink, or using, I don't know, Steel Skin, something like that. So you want a skill that hits multiple times, like Voll lighting, and each crit is gonna generate a power charge. Against single target it's still not gonna be great. Currently I have 7 power charges. I can go up to 8. So let's say I would go up to 8. I would have to generate 8 times 4 power charges per second basically. 8 times 4 power charges per second. You're not gonna be able to get that. Voll lighting does help a lot, and then Storm, Orb of Storm can also help quite a lot because if you're casting inside Orb of Storm, it's gonna be proccing every time you cast. Then we also use Helmet Enchantment, 30% chance for discharge to dealing damage without removing charges. Basically every fair discharge is not gonna consume charges, and imagine the second discharge is gonna have maximum charges and do more damage, or like full of its damage. You can also use Ineos boots, which have a chance to, when you gain a power charge, to get up to maximum power charges. But I really need survivability. I cannot really afford right now to use those boots. I need resistances. My items are very cheap. I try to find, it was almost like a challenge finding the cheapest and the best items I could, because I was trying to craft a better stuff. I found 1 exalt and I immediately spent all that exalt on fossils, or sorry, on essences, and I did not get any better stuff. But normally I would want to craft Eclipse stuff. I do need that crit chance because my crit chance is not 100% against enemies that are not on no life. And if that happens and you use ball lightning and it doesn't crit, it's all the hits are not gonna crit. So that's bad. You want as close as possible to 100% crit chance. That's how you basically increase the reliability of generating power charges. If you're not using the boots, there's also Precursor's Ring, I believe, but those are usually expensive and I can't really do that. I also need to lower the mana cost. That's another tricky part. How do you solve the mana? Because you could use Eldritch Battery, but then you could not use Inspiration, which does lower the mana cost. You could not use Arcane Surge, which does give you mana regen. And you could not use all the reduced things from the passive skill tree, because there's only, I believe, one thing that reduces the all skills cost, not just the mana cost. While other ones, like let's say Dreamer, is reduced mana cost of skill. So if you got Eldritch Battery, you couldn't take that. And for Eldritch Battery, you would also need to get pretty decent chunk of energy shield pool, and to start getting increase energy shield recharge rate. That is massive if you're playing Eldritch Battery and you want to add more sustain. There are ways, but I decided to not go for Eldritch Battery, and yes, you could use like Energy Shield, Leech, Support Gem, Energy Shield, Leech, Support Gem to help sustain it, but it's still not reliable. You could also use the Corrupted Soul, Timeless Jewel, but that's not for my budget, and I didn't really want to like remove the life nodes. And the easier solution is just to get the reduced mana cost of skills. You can easily get here. You can take these, the Mana Mastery. You either get more mana regen, maybe use Clarity, but Clarity, since the body armor has 50% reduced maximum mana, Clarity actually reserves a lot of mana. It's more than half of your mana. So you can't really afford to use Clarity. And then you need to lower the mana cost by flat amount. You can get up to -7 on... Well, you're gonna want Astral Projector as well, so that you can cast Discharge at a distance and not from yourself, because it's a normal skill. Yeah, basically I decided to not go block, because getting block would cost too many passive points and it wouldn't still be enough. It would be difficult to get enough block, would still need to use Glancing Blow, so I decided to go with the Evasion and Spell Suppression. I'm getting Evasion basically just from Grace and Defiance Banner. So I don't have any damaging auras. I only got defensive stuff for my auras. You can also use Blessing. I am leveling Blessing skill, Blessing Support Gem. Maybe I'll add it if I have enough mana, but I don't really have enough mana like regen. I could use it for a couple of seconds, but then I would basically lose all of my mana. Maybe later I will add it. Adding like Wrath would be very nice. The passive skill tree looks a bit weird, but like I need dexterity. I'm gonna min-max the passive skill tree in the next video. For now I just wanted to give you an idea of what am I playing. As you can see, I don't have any jewels yet. All the jewels are waiting to be picked up because I need currency for jewels, and I have like what, 30 years, less than 30 years right now. At least now I am enjoying the build. It does seem pretty fun. It's just single target is not very good, and like I have to kind of face tank stuff, so I'm still using Stone Golem to distract enemies, to taunt them. I think Blind would actually help a lot, but I don't really see how I can add that without sacrificing something else. I'm also missing exposure, so there's still quite a bit of damage I can get, and I'm currently using level 21 discharge, but it's on a 5 link and the stuff is not ideal, although the cast speed is very nice. So yeah, in my next video hopefully I can make this into a more min-max build, and hopefully it's gonna be able to do retier maps. Like this is the first time I'm enjoying playing PoE this league, because previous build was just pure suffering, and now it's actually fun. So I'm finally happy that I got a build to play, and yeah. For now, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.